Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libbie, and this is the show about advertising, marketing, consumer trends, best business practices. So why do we do this? Why would our advertising agency come to you each and every Monday or live or whenever you want on our blog and do this for you? Well, because we believe that the ideas and the things that we can bring to your business, no matter the size, will help you survive in this economy or in any. And if you want to view this later on, it's on our blog, Insight on Business. There are all kinds of ways to find what it is that we do for small, medium, and gargantuan companies all across the country. If you're into social media and you're a brand new business and you've decided to go ahead and do that, oh yes, thank you very much, Ryan. By the way, we'll take questions and comments on Twitter. You can reach us at InsightADV. That's at InsightADV. So are you into social media? You know, you're a company and you say, oh, you know, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. I got to get there too. I've got to go ahead and start a Twitter stream. I've got to go ahead and start a blog. I've got to go ahead and be on Facebook. I mean, my gosh, Facebook, everybody's on Facebook, right? Well, they're not quite everybody on Facebook. But let's say that you've jumped into this whole thing without doing a lot of the background work. My advice to you is this image shows: get out now. Got that image? Yeah. We're just going to kick it to the can, kids. If you are at all involved in social media and you haven't figured out exactly how this all works, our advice is to get out now. You know, I have to tell you, this is all coming back to me like a bad dream. Long ago, years ago, we did some television commercials for a client. And I'll never forget this. And social media is kind of like this story, if you will. We did some television commercials for a client, bought the flight, and it was to air in some local TV stations. About 3 or 4 days before the flight started, before the TV ad started, I get a call from our client who says, hey, Michael, we just hired 5 more people to work at the company. I said, you did? The business is that good, huh? Wow, congratulations. He says, yeah. He said, we did that because we know that our ads are going to be running on the television station coming up this weekend, and we wanted to make sure that we had enough people to cover our business when the rush of customers came into the door. It doesn't quite work that way, kids. It doesn't quite work that way unless you're giving away stuff, and then you can expect a whole bunch of people knocking on your door. Social media is the same thing. You know, if you've gotten into this because you think that the moment you start your social media campaign, people are going to be flocking to your product or service, it's not quite that easy. So that's one of the things that we say, if that's the idea, you got to get out right now. So what should you be doing? All right, here's a quick list. Ready? Have a plan, a detailed, responsible plan of what you expect. What does all this thing look like? Know your competition. What are they doing? What are they doing in the stream? Know your target market. Know where they hang out. What social media channels are they using? What's your budget? You do have a marketing budget, right? Yeah? Tell me you do. What's your marketing budget? What's your time commitment? Are you really dedicated, or have you hired this out to somebody else, or are you dedicated to going ahead to make sure that your social media program works? What are your market strengths? Think about that. What are your strengths versus the competition? What are your competition strengths versus you? What's your voice going to sound like? Are you going to be there to offer all kinds of assistance? Are you going to be there to offer products and services? What's your point of entering social media? Do you need a social media policy? What are your goals? Are your goals to increase your brand recognition, increase web traffic, improve search rank? Are you there to generate leads, increase sales? What exactly are your goals? Are you there to provide customer support? Reduce marketing costs, for example, reduce client support costs. You know, maybe you've got a customer service area and you want to reduce the cost of that customer service area. Maybe. maybe that's something you ought to look at. Are you there to educate the public? Are you there to become an expert in your field? What of those, or how many of those goals should you be incorporating, or should you be understanding before you tweet your first tweet? If you don't know those things, get out now. Save yourself the headache, the time, and the trouble, okay? But if you take our advice and you sit and you actually formulate a plan, you'll be successful in whatever your specific goals are. But it takes that time to figure it out. All right? Wow. How about some customer service? We were just talking about that when social media. And if your goal is to reduce the costs for customer service, I've got to tell you, there are a number of back channels that have already employed this. I can think of two right off the top of my head that I use all the time. Mediacom. If you're in an area that has Mediacom, it's called, on Twitter, it's @Mediacom Support. If you are a person that uses rented vehicles, Enterprise Cares, that's @Enterprise Cares. If you're an American Express holder, it's Amex Questions. So all of these major corporations, Hy-Vee, for crying out loud, even has a social media headquarters, if you will. All of these folks have decided that they're going to utilize social media, particularly Twitter, for their customer service to reduce their costs. But all right, enough social media. Let's just talk about customer service. Who would have thought that I would be sharing with you customer service tips as professed by a chubby checker? That's right. Chubby checker and customer service. We got a photograph of Chubby and the guy that you see, the young fellow with the beard, is he's a great guy, and he is a fellow who Mike Windish is his name, and Mike is not only the road manager for Chubby Checker, but Mike is also the drummer for Chubby. Chubby and I, we go back a long way, several decades, and not only, it's interesting. I had never seen him perform up until last weekend. Never. He and I, our relationship is on a much more personal level, and so the music has always been secondary. But this story, I think, really hones in on customer service. Okay. And I got to tell it to you because I think Chubby Checker gets it, and certainly Mike Windish as his employee gets it. What are the lessons that your business can use from Chubby? Here you go. Return phone calls. Seriously, kids, if you've got a telephone, you've got an answering machine or something, and you're not returning your telephone calls, what the hell's the matter with you? The other day when I talked to Chubby, and Chubby says, hey, look, go ahead and talk to Mike Windish. Here's his contact information. If you've had anything to do with the entertainment industry, you know that generally customer service is not always stellar. But what happened in this case is I called Mike Windish. Less than 30 minutes later, he calls me back. I said, you got to be kidding me. That was astounding. We try often on behalf of our clients to buy things, whether it's advertising or marketing thing, whatever it happens to be, and we leave countless messages with salespeople and customer support people all the time. Rarely do we get the telephone call back. We're the ones that have to call time and time again. So rule number one from Chubby Checker and Mike Windish, return those phone calls, will you? Number two, take time. And what does it cost you? You know, when you're talking to somebody that's already championing your brand, take the time to engage with them, all right? It's not always trouble. In this case, Mike and I had a conversation about Chubby Checker, and that lasted for 10, 15 minutes. I mean, he's a busy guy. They appeared just last week in San Francisco, and then here in Iowa, they took 24, 48 hours off, and they're on their way today to Saskatchewan. So this guy's got a little bit of stuff going on besides being the band leader. So what did Mike Windish do? He took the time to sit there and treat me as though I were an important person. So customer service lesson from Chubby Checker and Mike Windish number 2, take the time to engage with your customers. Number 3, follow through. You know, it could have been this easy. Oh, that's fine, Michael, don't worry. Your tickets will be at will call. By the way, we offered to pay for our own tickets. We said, hey, we don't want anything. We're going to come over there and see you, and we're going to pay for the tickets. And I remember Mike said, no, Chubby insists. So Chubby insists, okay, we do it. But here's the point, what I'm saying. Do something extra. Follow through. It could have been just, your tickets are at will call, and that would have been it. But no, he said, here, make sure that you call me when you get to the facility. Make sure that we touch base and do that. And so I did. And he was, right there on the spot, making sure that everything was absolutely perfect. Number 4, be nice. Be nice to your customers. They're the ones paying the bill, for crying out loud. Think about this. In Mike Windish's case, all right, when I called him, when we got to the facility, got the tickets, we had the seat, front row, by the way, and thank you very much. We got to the seat, and everyone had gone ahead and been seated, and I walked into the place, and my phone rings, and he goes, I think you just passed by me. I had no idea what Mike Windish looked like. And so this young man comes up to me, and he goes, I just felt that must have been you because you have a certain presence about you. I said, really? Like what? I've not even been drinking. And he goes, no, you just have a certain presence about you. And so we stood there and we had a conversation for another 10 or 15 minutes about his experience and how he delivers consistently for a Chubby. He didn't have to say that, but he did. Make it easy. It was all Mike Windish who set everything up. The seating, the arrangements, the after concert visit in the green room where we were the only people there with the band. He let the band know who we were. It just made it easy. Mike Windish owned the moment, and he delivered. And finally, never forget, ladies and gentlemen, never forget that it is your customer, it is the consumers that walk into your door, whether you're selling a product or a service, that make it possible for you to put the open sign on your door rather than the for sale sign on your door. Tips from Chubby Checker on customer service. When we come back, this is going to be fun. We're going to be talking to representatives of the Des Moines Cycle Club. The event is called Pedal Off the Pounds. I should sign up. Anyway, that story, and also the best ad campaigns that we saw last week, coming up when we return. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libbie. We're powered by Webcast One Live, and it's all brought to you by FWRSA. FWRSA, working hard for you on your financial affairs until the cows come home. We'll be back right after this.